And we are live. Welcome to Live Action Roleplay with
Cynthia
and
Kai
and Omega, brought to you by Kai. What did you bring us today?
Rum.
I am drinking Oak Heart rum, which is, I think, what I brought for everyone. I've got Mountain Dew in mine.
Fuck that.
Because I'm a heathen. But it is throwback Mountain Dew, so...
Oh, what's the difference?
It has more sugar in it. Or actual sugar, rather than... Don't give me that look.
But it explains why it's kind of nummy and it actually kind of works. Because I can't imagine it with regular Mountain Dew that tastes like acid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Cyn, how are you drinking yours then?
Straight, duh.
My goodness. And unlike every other time where I do not drink, this is the only time that I will drink because of the nature of what we are doing today. We're basically taking a couple of LARP quizzes. Cyn and I took a quiz for our first episode that we launched, but now that we also have Kai with us, we're going to induct him with a couple of other quizzes that we found on the internet.
Uh-oh.
For the record, you found, so if these are bad, it's you.
Yeah, it's entirely your fault.
These are completely untested, so yes, I am willing to accept the blame, unscripted, because that is who we are.
I think I need more to drink for me to do this one.
Well,
yes.
go get it.
Okay.
Go get it. So... Shoutouts. Do we have any shoutouts that we want to give out today?
I have a shoutout.
All right.
My shoutout is actually for you two, because you two are the ones who dragged me into this, and I've been enjoying doing this. I'm not sure I know the number of how many episodes have we done together now?
Together?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
More than 5.
Yes.
I think.
And I'm enjoying it immensely.
Yay.
Right next to the mic.
Right.
They're gonna love that sound.
She's offering it to her audience so that they're drinking with us. Cheers, everybody!
Cheers.
Right?
Cheers.
And drink. This is going to become a drinking game.
This is
man.
When you're playing this game with us, everyone, whenever we say drink, you drink. Like drink.
Drink. There's usually supposed to be a special word that we say instead of just drink. Like, what do we want to think of that makes people
like a
drink?
word of the day?
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I know on Maze Arcana, like, their special drink word is satchel. Anytime anyone says satchel, you drink.
Like, is it going to be a word that we say all the time? Or just a random word?
It could be, or we can have our audience pick.
In the future, yes. Probably. We might want... Should we make it a horrible hard mode?
Okay,
and make
every
it
time we
like
say
LARP?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Well,
welcome to being plastered.
Drink.
I'm glad I'm home.
We might try to throw this to our group at Live Action Roleplay Hype. Mm-hmm. What should be our drinking word from this point on, or we might just do this for one episode. Yeah. We will figure this out. And Cyn, do you have shoutouts?
I do. I have a shout out to my friend Justin. I believe it's going to be one of his first times being a storyteller ever, or maybe just for we're starting a quest on Starfinder. So I'm really excited for that. We're doing it tomorrow. I have to go buy dice. Because all I have is 10-cent dice.
Because you're a vampire player?
It's technically
or
it was
White
a changeling.
Wolf.
Yeah, there you go.
White Wolf player.
Yeah, I started off as changeling.
Uh-huh.
So I have to go buy new dice and I have to train them. And train them fast to obey me.
I seem to find that I was developing more D12s in my collection of dice because of playing in Isadora with you and Bruce. So... It kind of happens. Your dice collection does grow and change. Yeah.
I'm so ready for that.
Yeah, and for me, I wanted to give a collective shout out. What are you doing with your finger? What?
Really, Ryan? So for those unaware, I was trying to discreetly gesture towards the idea of I would like to plug my phone into its charger. And Ryan decided to take that in a different direction.
I can't help what your fingers do to each other. That's why I was asking, what is this?
You hear yourself talk?
Yes.
I guess you do because you edit this.
Yes, I do because I edit this. I wanted to give... Oh, okay.
We need a USB piece as well.
I'm working on it.
All right.
Work on it.
Welcome to production behind Live Action Roleplay.
So... Where's the cube when you need need one.
Cynthia is actually
my
a grip.
god.
Oh, there's a cube.
There's a cube. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Really?
It's like
We're
thank you.
recording.
We're starting early, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting early.
Right?
My shoutouts. My shoutouts are to my collective groups of DMs over the past few weeks. Much love to Bruce, Foreman Isadora, Rudy that introduced me at Fury's Fate on Dungeons and Dragons this week. So I got to play Emporo. And to Jason Carl, who ran a private game with Rudy, Satine, and I, and that was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, Jason Carl, we have much to discuss, sir.
Anyways, so today we are going to be doing a couple of quizzes, and we will add the links when we launch this post so that you can play along with us. Again, we just checked this from the internet. I have not tested these, so this could be really, really bad, and I take responsibility for that. All right, so we're gonna go with our first quiz, which is what kind of LARPer are you?
Oh, fuck.
Yes. And so,
does LARPer count as LARP for drinking? Or, I mean, I just said...
Yes, it does.
Either way, I said it, so drink.
ladies and gentlemen, be advised that we are not responsible for any alcohol poisoning that occurs within the podcast.
Ryan, just drink.
But but we're entirely responsible for ourselves.
Yes. All right. So, what kind of LARPer are you? This is a quiz on PlayBuzz. When you actually search LARP quizzes, this is the first that comes up. Mm-hmm. So we might as well play it.
No.
No?
It already answered. Never mind.
All right. So let's play.
It's a weird flash one, and we're all using iPhones, so it's kind of screwing up on us.
Okay.
No, I just accidentally pressed the wrong answer.
Okay, so I'm clicking Let's Play. Okay.
All right. So I'll handle the first one because I've got it open here. I
Go
guess.
for it. Yes.
When I start a new character, I typically play either an epic warrior who has a lot of experience, a character with stats that will make me powerful in a few events, well-planned characters with a background story that perfectly fit the storyline, a balanced character with advantages and downsides, a character that fits the characters that my friends play, so in order for me to play with friends, a character that allows me to do a lot of random stuff, I'll just improvise, and then finally, a person with a tragic background.
This is actually a good selection of stuff.
Right? I feel like I kind of hit a couple of those.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I already hit one.
What did you hit?
Well, ironically, the one that I accidentally clicked on.
Perfect.
Well-planned character with a background story that perfectly fits its storyline. That's me.
That's good. That's
I'm a planner.
While Ryan's still deciding, I'm going to talk about what I would be picking. I feel like whenever I play a LARP or any kind of game that gives me... Oh, crap.
You know, it really should be the person who says it.
No, it should be everyone. That way we all get punished equally.
All right, fine.
So whenever I'm playing a game... oh, this is going to get difficult. So... if there's ever game systems that involve disadvantages, I like picking more disadvantages than I'll actually be given points for, because of the fact that, honestly, playing disadvantages is fun. And I feel that I get more quirky characters and interesting things, so long as I'm not an annoying Malkavian.
Hey.
Annoying Malkavian.
Yes, annoying Malkavian.
Okay.
My first ever vampire... live-action role-playing character.
Drink!
Damn it! My first ever character in one of those games was a Malkavian called Pockets, who had kleptomania, and at the end of every game, I would have to empty out my pockets, and I'd have a specific pocket that I would put things that I would steal from other players at the game, and I'd have to make sure that no one would leave early so I didn't steal something that I couldn't immediately give them back at the end of game. Mm-hmm. But there was definitely a point in time where the prince told me that I needed to empty my pockets, and I had 5 or 6 other pockets. It was a a British military jacket just with tons of cargo pockets all over it. I'd have things like pencils and screws and tools and a rubber chicken, and I would just keep going and putting them on the table, and it went on for like 10 minutes of me doing this while the rest of the characters are laughing their ass off, and the prince is trying so hard not to break character, as he's awfully disappointed in the fact that I ran off with his favourite pen. Sorry, I went on a horrible tangent there. But balanced characters with advantages and downsides are something that I appreciate. But I also often pick characters to complement what my friends play. Because I really like team games and cooperative video games and things like that. And so when I'm playing, here it comes, a LARP, drink.
Hi!
So when I'm playing games like that, I really like to involve myself in a group with friends. So that's what I like to get up to. So I'm gonna pick that I fit the character that my friends play, so I get to play with them a little closer potentially.
I'm stuck between two of them. One of them is character that fits the characters that my friends play, because I want to be able to have that instant dynamic going into a game, especially if I'm in a game that I don't know very well or the system very well. And then the other one would be a character that allows me to do a lot of random stuff. I'll improvise. I'm one of those people that doesn't really like a huge background, because I know that the moment I start playing, that will all change depending on what the game environment is like and what my interactions are like. So I don't want to have... I'll have an outline of what I think that background will be, and then it'll be more solidified over a couple of games once I realize, okay, this now makes more sense for the character, rather than invest in a 15-page documentary of my background and to find out that I'm going to have to toss 13 pages of it because it doesn't fit the concept once I started playing it.
I 100% agree with you there. Personally, whenever I'm playing any kind of games like that, I leave it to about 3 sessions for me to feel out the character. I might have I'll have a loose brief that I've kind of thrown together of like bullet point ideas, but nothing will calcify for the character until about the 3rd game.
That's why they usually give you 3 games to kind of change
and
concepts.
like allow re-rolls and things like that. And that's a really fun aspect that I've noticed in quite a few games. How about you, Cyn?
Sorry, I was reading the next question.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I'm going to pick the same thing as Kai, character that fits the characters that my friends play, because that's more important than being able to improvise.
Cool. So, Cyn, what is the next set of questions?
Oh, we're gonna have to drink. What is your idea of a good LARP fight?
Drink. You did it this time, not me. And that might be why I asked you to read it.
Thanks, Kai.
You're welcome.
All right.
Any battle where I can take a moment to show off how my character would react on a battle. A challenge. Anything where I can try that fun spell. A battle with a good build-up and a clear reason why we are fighting. A battle I win. Yes. One with my friends beside me. No. Enough time to react on what happens. Just fighting is boring.
For me, it's going to be a battle with a good build-up and with a clear reason why we fight. I love fighting in games when I know what's actually at stake.
That's pretty cool. I can appreciate that for sure. Yeah, like things that drive your character and become like development points one way or the other are much more fun. How about you, Cyn?
2 of these points are the same.
Which 2?
Which one, 2?
At least that's the way I'm reading. Maybe I'm wrong. Any battle where I can take a moment to show how my character would react on a battle, and enough time to react on what happens. Just fighting is boring. Are you guys reading that differently? They seem pretty much the same thing.
I feel like one is about react to what happens to potentially cause it. I would say like the answer for enough time to react on what happens, just fighting is boring. That might be something along the lines of like, well, what if I want to solve this combat with diplomacy?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been in a LARP fight, so I wouldn't know.
You've never played a buffer or a stick job game before.
Not.
Yeah. I was trying to get her to come to one this weekend, actually. But then she realized it was slightly further away from her.
Slightly, we mean
Yes.
like an hour and a half drive.
Rather than 10-minute drive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Lazy. LARPing requires travel.
Yes,
I have a
it
Princess
does.
Jasmine wig to do.
Oh.
I have no idea what that means in context of these questions.
Right? Okay,
Anywho, so my answer is, well, I'm actually going to go with Ryan. A battle with a good build-up and a clear reason why we have to fight.
Okay. Well, I have to admit, I really do like games that get me invested in the roleplay of the moment and having good reasons. Because one of the best fights in Dystopia Rising that I've been in was actually, for a lot of purposes, for character development it was amazing. For actual experience, it was unfortunately rather stacked against us. Almost, I would say, easily the best out of the best 10 fighters in our 200-person game. 9 of them specifically went on NPC shift to be these monsters, as well as a whole bunch of other people with them. So it was a really rough fight because of the player's the NPC's skill, and they were incredibly statted as well. So they were very tough, not only in stats, which can make a bad fighter good, but they were also talented as combatants, which makes a dangerous monster deadly. In fact, a lot of players died on that mission because we actually failed it, even though the guys running that mod genuinely thought that we were going to steamroller them. Sadly, it did not happen that way, and it resulted in a complete rout. It was a little disadvantageous because it involved scaling up a very loose earth hill, and when we got to the crest of the hill, that's when we got charged by the NPCs, rather than fighting on the flat top kind of area where it would have been a little safer to fight. We got immediately charged by monsters swinging much more damage than players could do. And it immediately forced our shield wall back, and we ended up, some people literally falling down the hill. People were hurt. There were lots of timeouts called for people who kind of got tripped over and stepped on and things like that. And that, in terms of the actual experience of the fight, it wasn't that fun. It was very disappointing. But in terms of the actual roleplay that came from us thinking that we were going to, as characters, go off and kick some ass, and then actually losing a big fight, that redefined my particular character. In fact, he found more strength in the faith that he had, so much so that he became like a cleric priest of that faith, because he realized that the people leading that before weren't the types of leaders that he wanted to see in his faith. And I realize I've gone on a horrible tangent again. But so, because I'm going to choose something different from you guys, I'm going to say one with my friends beside me, because I really do like fighting in team environments and things like that.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get to the next question.
Sorry.
Next question. What is a beautiful LARP
Drink.
Drink. What is a beautiful LARP death?
I finished my drink.
Something that makes people feel things. A heroic death in battle. Something unexpected that will make people laugh. What the heck did just happen?
That happened to us.
It just...
All right, I'll take over.
Thank you.
I'll try, so to start again, as long as it's an awesome scene is one of the options. Another one is something that fits well in the story. When it's my time, it's my time. Next up, as long as I don't die alone. After that, a heroic death in battle is the way I want to go. Next is die. That's always something negative. After that, something that makes people feel things. And then finally, something unexpected that will make people laugh. How do people want to go out in that? But yeah, so something that fits well in the story, when it's my time is my time, makes a lot of sense. But I also really like deaths that make people feel things. And I've absolutely been around deaths, character deaths, that have seen that. But I honestly don't tend to die at LARPs. I don't know why. I just somehow manage not to die, or at least die permanently.
We just haven't tried hard enough.
I don't know even if it's necessarily trying hard enough. In Dystopia Rising, you have multiple lives, and when you die, you go and see like this weird Lovecraftian kind of Cthulhuoid like thing that talks to you and messes with you and spits you out later with derangements, which is good character development. In Twin Mask, when you die like properly, you get to meet the ferryman and ask him some questions before he, if you beat him in a game of chance, you get to come back alive again. Both of those are really interesting character turning points, and it's actually almost like, I know at some point it'll happen, but it hasn't happened yet, and I almost like regret that I haven't had the chance to go through one of those interesting turning points myself as one of my characters, because I'm usually just really good at assessing situations and going, nah. But yeah, so I'm going to go for something that makes people feel things, because LARP, drink, is about emotion. At least that's what I feel.
Steal mine, Kai.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Fine, in spite of you, I'm going for as long as it's an awesome scene.
Okay. Have you died a few times?
I've never died.
You've never died. But when you die, you want it to really matter?
Just be an awesome scene and have the feels.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've played a character that died.
Oh?
And with one of my Twin Mask characters, Sicario, when you look at this question, it says, what is a beautiful LARP death? Mm-hmm. He did suffer a beautiful LARP death because he was assassinated on his wedding day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, isn't your character, like, he's a Dacian, so he appreciates, like, beautiful deaths and things like that anyway, right?
Well, personally, I don't. Just the Dacian culture does. Because, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to party, it's always going to be beautiful. If you're going to be in costume or dress, it's always going to be beautiful. And if you're going to die, you have to die at the hands of an assassin beautifully. Because to die from smallpox is scandalous. Yeah. So you might as well have been killed with a good poison and someone telling you something poetic. And in my case, it was a rival that decided to kill me on my wedding day as revenge for my ex who ended herself.
Oh, wow.
And so on my wedding day, he decided to end me by sending me a wedding planner that I didn't know was an assassin. So when she led me away on my wedding day just before the wedding ceremony, she poisoned me. I couldn't move, and she read to me a letter from my rival.
Whoa.
Just in detail of why he decided to honor me with this beautiful death, which was cruel and painful, and in the end, she stuck the letter into my mouth, and I died.
That's
so
great.
That was beautiful. Out of character, I actually enjoyed it, because there was some thought and planning put into this. Ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know, we're on our mobile phones right now, as if there were any other phones, like landlines. Like, we're checking these on our landlines right now. And for some reason, Playbuzz keeps resetting us to the beginning.
I think it's because we are all using iPhones, and iPhones don't like flash.
It's not just that. We're also timing out because we're all very long-winded.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try to get through these quicker, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so next up, we have, what is your secret weapon?
Wait, Sid, did you go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
We went full circle.
I said an awesome scene.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So you have several options for your secret weapon. It could either be your sword, knowing another character's weakness, having several options, but it really depends on which combination that you're going to use them in. Not anything in particular. I'll try to see what would fit in that situation. Just showing up with a damn big group. A level 9 magic holy bolt through spell, or something equally crazy and nuclear. And then finally, making other characters feel uncomfortable. Cyn, how would you take this?
Well, first off, they don't have mine on there.
No? What would be yours?
Seduction! Hello?
Fair.
Wouldn't that be making others feel uncomfortable?
Well, not necessarily uncomfortable, though. Come on now.
Okay, that's fair.
So cross off the uncomfortable.
So technically, then it would be I know other characters' weaknesses, right? Because they're weak to your seduction.
Oh, right, yes.
Oh, okay.
I know other people's weaknesses, definitely.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense for you. Let me see.
Ryan.
For me, because I'm always surrounded by lots of people, I show up with a big group. People don't want me to die.
Goddamn noble.
Yeah.
But I'm also a noble with lots of resurrection and keep the country stable. That's the reason why.
That's fair.
Kai?
My secret weapon. You know what? I don't really plan for secret weapons. If I'm in a situation that is actually threatening my life or, like, threatening things, I try to use whatever is available. So I'm going to go for not something in particular. I'll just try and see what would fit in that situation, because I really enjoy improvising and sometimes problem solving of, like, you jump out of a plane and try to sew yourself a parachute on the way down kind of situations are some of the most, in real life it's horrible, but in LARPing, drink.
God damn it, Kai!
I have to drive. Keep going.
So in a LARP, that one doesn't count. There's like a 10-second rule or something like that. So in a game, I feel like if you put yourself into a position where you're just kind of forced to improvise, you get to sometimes pull off some really crazy stuff. Yes. Once in a while, you make people laugh or things like that, or it's interesting, and you never quite know what's going to come out of you or your character's mouth sometimes. So that's always an interesting experience. Tish.
Interestingly, like, to kind of harp on what you just mentioned, people have told me at Twin Masks my secret weapon is actually my improvised epic speeches.
Nice.
We've had a conversation about that in a previous podcast, haven't we?
Yeah, where I just developed this skill where I could suddenly come up with an epic speech based off of the situation, and that gets people motivated. And there isn't a special thing associated with it. It's just something I've developed at LARP, and I love being able to do that. And some people say that is your secret weapon, motivating everybody else in the heat of battle.
See, I've been accused of seducing people when I haven't done that. Like, straight up, I've been accused of it being used as a weapon. I was like, wait, hold on.
I'm weaponizing myself?
Like, I haven't
tried.
I haven't actually tried to... Alright, if you think that's what that is, then...
You have
Does
no
it work?
idea when
Did it work?
I get it makes people question my character, so I'm like, fuck it. Like,
and you don't even realize you haven't even stared down the barrel yet.
Yeah,
you have so much more to learn.
Yeah.
So much more to learn.
Alright, next question. The scene I always wanted to play is... Ready?
Yes.
Surprising others with my powers. Well, that's... Yeah, okay, whatever. The death of a loved one. Okay, rough. Sure. I don't have a particular preference as long as I can take initiative. Yeah.
It's pronounced initiative.
Seriously?
No. Keep going.
Okay. Making something explode. Yeah! Okay. 1-to-1 combat. That's boring. Knowing the answer to the big problem. I did that. That's exciting. Evening campfires with lots of mead and stories. That just sounds like somebody's Tinder account.
What?
I don't know. I can really appreciate the idea of just kind of drinking around a fire and stuff. Twin Mask and
hopeless romantic.
Twin Mask and Dystopia Rising don't really stick with that, but like when I go to big events like Wasteland Weekend, for example, which are big like camp out events with a lot of immersion and things like that, there's a lot of drinking and fires and things like that. And like back in England, I used to play something called Lorien Trust, and in Lorien Trust, during the evenings, combat isn't allowed, so people are allowed to sit around campfires and drink and like do politics and things.
So is that your answer?
You know what? I'm not even sure. The thing is, this is a scene that I've always wanted to play. I've done that, and it is fun. So I'm just defending it. I'm not actually picking it.
Yeah, I think that's the key. It's like a scene I've always wanted to play, assuming that these are options that you have not played yet. For me, the closest one would be making something explode, because I generally am not the type of person to do so. The closest I have to doing so was when I was playing a Malkavian and Vampire, and I remember this clearly in San Francisco, where my character brought donuts. Like, I brought out of character. You made
donuts explode.
No.
Explode
No, this is how I made
on a daily.
Oh.
This is how I made... What?
We just got dirty. It's alright, keep going. It went over your head, keep going.
I was talking about donuts.
Yeah, so will we.
So
you were saying?
So my Malkavian brought donuts, and out of character I also brought donuts.
I'm never gonna look at
And so because it was considered scandalous for vampires to eat.
Oh.
Because not everybody could eat food. So I brought donuts. So when one vampire ate donuts, the prince actually got so jealous that he had her killed.
Oh.
Now,
That's
here's
mean.
where I know, but this is where it gets more interesting. So I bring these donuts over to another game in Sacramento. So this is in World by Night, so it's a network chronicle. I bring these donuts over. Some other characters eat the donuts. Completely unrelated, they did something stupid. They were also killed.
Cursed donuts.
So then a reputation occurred that my character had killer donuts. Somehow my character was associated with 4 PC deaths by serving donuts. So when I went to Arizona and showed up for an event, I brought donuts, and I heard everyone in the entire room scream, "No!" The prince get rid of those donuts, I will kill you with the right of destruction.
Can you bring donuts to our Halloween event next week?
Oh my god.
And so I was forced to, out of character, in character, throw away those donuts.
Rude.
It was rude, but it was kind of worth it, because when
You were just
so when Kubla Khan rolled around, when I was STing Kubla Khan, the players actually gave me a t-shirt that said Killer Donuts.
Yeah.
They actually made me a t-shirt that said Killer Donuts based off of that incident.
So what's the scene that you would always want to play?
Mm-hmm. Make something explode. Make something actually explode.
Explode.
What's yours?
Explode. I really enjoy, so I feel like a lot of these are things that I've already done. Mm-hmm. I've definitely done the death of a loved one, where, we had a biker gang in Dystopia Rising, and, the rally flag was a sacred, a symbol of our gang. Mm-hmm. And so, when this character had died, we, wrapped her up almost like a sailor wraps up another sailor in a sailcloth. We wrapped her up in a rally flag, and we were talking about how we're going to make sure this isn't going to happen again, and my character was getting really angry while he had her head on his lap, and other members of the group legitimately started crying out of character. And they took it with them in character as well, but people were tears were falling, and there were other members of people not in our faction, not in our gang, that were watching this, and they were excusing themselves because it felt so raw and intimate and intense. They were they felt like intruders because they weren't members of the group. And I'm I loved that I got to be a part of that, but it was rough. It was emotionally draining doing it in the best kind of way. Mm-hmm. But it was really rough. I'm going to do a shout out. It was my friend Kirsty who was the character that actually got killed in that. Mm-hmm. And it was an amazing scene for all of our gang, the Road Royals.
See, going out in an awesome scene.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Right? That was really, really cool.
And even though that's a lot of bleed, that just sounds amazing.
It sounds beautiful.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Because there is such a thing as good bleed.
Yeah.
But so, I've done a lot of one-on-one combat. I've never really been able to spot the big problems. I wouldn't mind surprising other people with my powers. That'd be really cool. Having some situation where I get to solve something going on just by boom, and people being whoa, that would be really kind of cool.
Cyn, did you pick one?
No, I haven't. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of these that I'm actually hoping that actually happens, but I want to keep it quiet.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to just pick one and not tell us? Which is actually not that fun. That's not that fun.
Not really
I'll pick a second choice or something to that effect. I'm gonna go with the death of a loved one. I think being an actor performer type person, that it kind of goes along with the whole death thing of something being awesome. I think I can act out something really, really crazy to the point that people would probably have the feels afterwards.
Yeah, you've talked about having some really interesting characters that have been tied with like star-crossed romance, or like having dear family members who are always like kind of there for your characters and stuff. And like one of those kinds of characters going would be like a really amazing scene. It'd probably fuck the character up beyond all recognition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually got a character that my main Dystopia Rising character has a death that he has to come back to. I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, Ryan, you?
I already picked one.
You already picked one? Okay, cool. So are you going to read this one, or shall I read this one?
I'll read this one.
Okay.
Okay, so next question. Your costume. Choices. I first create a cultural region I come from and what they would wear. Bright colors.
Okay, so this
Something
is...
that shows what kind of character I play.
This is about how would you pick your costume for your LARP character drink.
You
You set that one
fucker.
up.
Fucker. Next time, like, I
Yes,
do want to,
maybe.
like, for our audience sake, I want to read through all of these.
Oh, no, absolutely. We should read through them. I was just more explaining because the question on its own...
Just as your costume?
Yeah,
Question
it
mark?
isn't really...
Okay, I'll go through these quickly. Your costume. 1, I first create a cultural region I come from and what they would wear. 2, bright colors. 3, something that shows what kind of character I play. 4, something that stands out. 5, see which pieces of armor fit together and some tunic. 6, neutral, something I can move in. 7, something that fits the group I want to play with.
So I'm going to jump in right here and for once give a really quick answer. I really, really like kind of like character or class or like strain or race or however you want to describe it. I like character recognition. I really enjoy being able to look at someone and go, 1, they look like a badass, 2, they definitely are an elf or a dwarf or a wizard or a this or a that. And I enjoy it because I don't see it as a handicap. I understand some characters intentionally play against that. Like, they don't want people to know what they are. But for the most point, I really enjoy it when people are recognizable because I find it's kind of... It's fun, especially with me as a costumer. So I'm definitely going for something that shows what kind of character I play, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm going to be real quick. I second that. That was what I picked.
Woo!
I'm going with something similar, but not quite. I first create a cultural region I come from and what they would wear. And that's because with some of these characters in Dying Kingdoms, there was no Polynesian analog, and I wanted to play something that wasn't European. And something had to be created for me just so I could represent that, because in my roleplay there just wasn't... there were all of these variations of Britain and Italy and Germany, but when you had like the representation of what was considered Africa and Polynesia and South America, it was literally all one area that was unexplored. And I wanted to play someone from that area because, A, they had really cool stuff that no one really explored, but I think there was also a level of discomfort of many people who were not that ethnicity willing to try it. And for me, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do this. You know, why not? So for me, it's playing the cultural region that's important to me. So I'm picking that one.
Fair.
That's cool.
Oh, can I read this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Biggest LARP frustration.
Oh,
Damn it.
I hope everyone
Oh
is
my
enjoying
god, my
this.
glass is now empty.
Oh no, you broke it.
We can help you with that.
We can fix
You
it.
can, but remember, I have to drive.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
Biggest beep frustration.
Give me a glass.
Okay.
People not reacting in emotional situations, people being too serious, people who downplay cool scenes for in-character safety, people who do not understand the rules, people who want to play actively all the time, take a break, people not taking their hits, and people who don't care about the storyline and setting. There's actually one in here that like is kind of a rising pet peeve of mine, which is not taking the social challenges. So my character is very, 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 very social, and I've noticed that a lot of people shy away from social challenges. And
What do you mean by a social challenge?
so in One World by Night, you can actually help me with the terminology here. You can actually
activate a social challenge.
Yeah.
So like the equivalent of rolling a dice or doing the
right. So you can basically go up to
rock,
someone
paper,
and say,
scissors.
"I am seductive enough to persuade you to blah 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 blah."
Gotcha.
And you have to basically go look at your character sheet and see if you can actually combat that.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's
using
the
air
equivalent
quotes
of
here.
Because in a parlor LARP, if you
Right.
come up to say to them like, "Hi, you're standing next to a window. I am so strong, I am going to attempt to pick you up and throw you out of the window."
Right.
That's when a combat round happens.
Right.
And the equivalent of a social challenge is basically like a social combat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
Okay,
shy
cool.
away from a social combat, basically.
Okay.
And so when you have characters that are actually built in kind of the social setting,
Yeah.
you kind of get screwed over when like people don't want to do social challenges to you.
I feel like a good counter to that is you walk up and you start role playing with them, and then like maybe halfway through the role play you go, "By the way, social challenge," and you hit them with it.
Oh, that's usually the best.
Yeah.
Because you did the role play, and so they're enjoying the role play of it. And they're not really necessarily expecting you to kind of turn around and go dominate or befriend, or in Dystopia Rising there's an ability called charisma that actually requires, as a hard rule, 5 minutes of role-playing with that character before you can actually like turn around and point at them and go, "Hey, I'm using charisma on you."
Oh, interesting. I like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I like that because I'm usually winning
And
with
there's
the whole
defensive
seduction
skills
thing.
too. Yeah, and there's usually defensive skills too.
That's awesome.
So someone could turn around and say, "Refuse" if they have that skill. But,
So
yeah.
to me, that's my biggest LARP frustration is
Yeah.
people not taking on the social challenges. At least in the game that I'm playing right now.
Like, if you hit them with a social thing where you're like, "You need to be my friend because I've used this ability on you," and them just not role-playing that, like not
It's
following
just
the
more
rules.
people accepting it, right? So if I come on to you,
Yeah.
guys and girls are usually like, "Oh, okay, cool," and like keep going. I'm like, "Oh."
Well, I mean,
but that's not necessarily a bad.
Like,
it's not
you're
bad.
getting what your character wants.
Fair, which is why I haven't challenged anyone.
Yeah.
Particularly.
But what you want is someone to come up to you and basically try and attempt something back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
the only person who's ever like challenged me without actually doing like a full rock paper scissors roll is Prince. He's basically been like, no, I'm too much older than that. I see right through what you're doing. I'm like, well, fuck.
Well, obviously, it's a prince. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is your answer people not taking their hits? Essentially,
I mean,
is
that's
that what that
kind
is?
of like...
That's a closest.
I guess.
Or not reacting to
I'm gonna go with
emotional situations.
not reacting in emotional situations.
Yeah.
Ryan, how about you?
So, for all of these are all good.
Yeah.
These are all good answers.
They're all
like-
good frustrations, too.
Yeah. I'm going to say people who don't care about the storyline and setting, because the problem is if you don't care about that, then nothing you do matters.
Exactly. You're
If you
just...
don't like Vampire and you're playing in Vampire, it's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Or yeah, like if you show up to a buffer LARP and you don't care about the story, you're just playing to hit people. In which case, there are games that are lighter on story and much more heavy on combat that you can go and play, and they're very competitive in the combat rules,
Right.
like Belgarth and DAG and things like that. And they're excellent games for exactly the crowd that they tailor to.
Right. There's a luck for every stripe.
Yeah, I actually want to try and, in the future, find... I have a couple of friends who are Belgarth players, and I want to try and get one of them on board to chat with us sometime.
Yeah,
I love
if-
you guys,
but yeah.
but my phone's gonna die soon, so let's
Ooh.
wrap this.
Yeah,
Okay,
we need
yeah.
to. Yeah, we need to keep going. And to tie on to Kai's comment, if there is someone who comes from that style of LARP, please let us know. We would love to have someone that we can interview on podcast. Is that? Kai,
Yeah,
what
so
about you?
I'm going to say people... What did you say? No, people not reacting to emotional
Yeah,
situations?
that's where I was at.
I gotta be one of those two. Or maybe... I'm always very understanding people not understanding the rules, because that is nothing something can control. Yeah, I'm going to go with people who don't care about the storyline and setting. Like, if you're not willing to engage in the world, then you shouldn't play. I guess I'm reading this one. So, worst LARP drink.
Okay.
Damn it, Kai.
Yeah, but it's in the question, so...
Yeah, worst LARP plot ever. Number 1, plot with too little chances to show your character's identity. 2, a situation where you have to bow down, so you're kind of like showing fealty or like an overwhelming force that you have to be nice to. 3, too serious with no possibility to joke around. 4, endlessly talking about nothing plots. 5, emotionless plots with nothing at stake. 6, a plot that is far too individual. It's made for just one character and that one character alone. And 7, no thinking or secrets involved at all. Just a straight line of, hey, we need some rats killed in this basement. Go do this.
Yeah.
All of these suck.
Well, yeah, they're all horrible LARP plots, Drink.
This LARP quiz actually has good questions, so...
I don't mind about too serious and no possibility to joke around, because honestly, when people start dropping memes and silly jokes at game, it draws me out. Like, I appreciate in-game humor, but it has to be entirely in-game humor. It can't be inside jokes between players and stuff like that. And when people actually start referencing, like, modern-day memes, it bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, like
because
that.
It pulls you out of it.
Yeah. If I hadn't done an Isadora, I would have picked a situation where we have to bow down. So in Isadora, there was a scenario where my character Delexo is a junk trader, and he was held up at ransom by a bunch of changelings that decided to basically steal all of his stuff. His entire livelihood was gone in a roleplay scenario that I almost table flipped. However, the end result after that game in the following games is that his character was forced to change. So it's not the worst LARP plot ever. It's just an interesting way of how does your character react to it. But for me, the thing that bugs the hell out of me is endless talking plot.
Yeah.
The thing about, we are going to do this, and we're going to do this, and you just don't do shit. That bugs the fuck out of me. Oh,
like everyone planning and planning and planning.
And not doing any action. It's like, come on!
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I can agree with that for sure. How about you, Cyn?
Actually, one that I've experienced completely opposite. Well, so first off, the problem was that I'm probably going to pick plot that is too individual. And probably the reason behind that was the last game that I played was amazing because I actually got to experience working with every single vampire clan to a greater cause of the storyline. And not too long ago, it was I was left out of a lot of overall story plot, and I had to make my own story plots because I was bored as fuck. So. I mean, just to sum it all up, plots that are too individual and leaves out other story side characters or even new characters.
Yes.
To me, it's probably the worst LARP plot ever.
Yeah, those types of I've encountered some plots that are so high a level that newer players can't get involved in any way, and if they try to, they just have higher level players kind of gatekeep, turn around to them and say, "Oh, you're too much of a small fry. You're not worth doing this."
Or we'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, and they don't because they keep going this is above your pay grade. I don't like that. LARP should always be inclusive, and just because you as a player know that a character is brand new to the town, you should not necessarily treat them like they're a newbie. And just basically baby them and not let them do anything and not let them actually experience.
Totally agree. So
but that's not in here because this is a LARP plot. This is something that storytellers create.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, let's do a speed round. We have a couple of questions left. With no storytelling, we are going to read the questions and then we are going to answer. Oh my gosh, are you guys ready for that?
No.
Come on, it's got to be fast. Ready?
Or if we're gonna segue into a story, it has to be 30 seconds or less.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
No stories. Let's do this. Come on.
No, we can do either. Ryan, you said endless talking, which is what we're doing. Cyn, what was yours?
I forgot. What did you put?
I didn't put any yet.
Plot that's too individual.
Okay, too individual. I really don't like plot that has no heart. So emotionless pot with nothing at stake, those things of like just, oh, go kill rats, go kill this, go kill that. I'm like, I don't freaking care. Like, this is so boring, I see no point to it.
No.
Alright, next up. 8 roles that you can play as an NPC. Choose only one of them. 1.
Whoa.
Jenny/Jan, the goblin pilot who has a fascination with fire and likes to get drunk. 2. Yana/Jan, the convinced pious priest who wants to spread about his or her religion. 3. Julia/Julius, the political genius who always knows what's going on. 4. Monster number 12, the undead warrior with a huge sword. 5. Willow/Will. Willow is... whatever. Willow. I'm saying Will. Willow. Forget Will. Willow, everybody's friend with some diverse, useful skills. Theana/Theon. What's in the box? The lightning mage that could blast the village to pieces if he would want to, or she. And Maria/Marius, the local person who just lost their child and is barely keeping it together.
Again, good different
I know.
NPCs.
I'd probably if I immediately picked any of those that were thrown at me by an NPC,
5.
I would pick the Goblin Pirate.
Yes.
Just because it seems like fun and it's lighthearted.
Yeah.
I do like serious characters, but my knee jerk would be, you know what? Let's go for that.
I would also go with the Goblin Pirate because I play too many things that are serious, so it's like, this would be fun.
What are you going for, Cyn?
Lightning mage that can blast a village to pieces!
Explosions.
Explodey.
Okay, well, you're dangerous.
She likes explodey things.
Alright, do you want to read the next one?
Favorite problem. Goblins with confused spells. Oh, that sounds like something that happens in
Oh, that
Labyrinth.
sounds bad.
Something that gives me a chance to shine. Political problems, an attacking army, a riddle, trying to win the enemy over your side, or something that requires everyone to work together. I'm going to go with something that requires everyone to work together.
For me, I'm always the diplomat, and I will even talk to villains to get them to join my side, so it's trying to win the enemy over to your side.
Damn! I was thinking about that. You know what? I like riddles. Riddles are good. Also
Riddles are
puns.
good.
Puns and riddles.
Puns and riddles.
Yeah.
Alright, next
Okay.
one. Cliche character. So they give us just a bunch of different classes. So, healer, exclamation point. Mage, exclamation point. Soldier, warrior, pirate, bard, priest.
Healer!
Oh yeah, all 7. Warrior, soldier, healer, priest, pirate, bard, mage.
I'm picking priest.
Hmm.
I'm always drawn to priest for whatever reason. I just kind of...
Everyone picks pirates. I mean, not you guys, but a lot of people do pick pirates.
I got one word for healer. Mercy.
So I'm picking pirate. I'm picking a pirate. One-liner. What is... This is the last one. No, is it?
No, it's really not. We have a lot to go.
Yeah, that's why I have to do speed round.
Okay, one-liner. You want to take on me? Come and try me. Oh, really? Well, we will get through this. This goes against all I am. Actually, that's incorrect. And pass the beer. I'm going to go for... Actually, that's incorrect.
Give us your best character voice saying that line.
You see, I'm really bad at accents. I have one accent. It's kind of shitty. It sounds a little bit English, but a little bit not, and it has a crappy lisp. I bought it on eBay, and I can't get rid of it now. It's stuck.
That's why you have to go to Amazon next time.
Yep, I should have... Remember, folks, if you're buying an accent, always buy it on Amazon.com. Our sponsor for today. P.S. They really aren't our sponsor, but we wouldn't mind it. So yeah, I would go for something like that, personally. What do you think you would pick, Ryan, while Cyn tries to catch up?
I think for me, it's always, well... We will get through this.
Yeah?
Because I'm always the cheerleader sometimes.
That is absolutely a Sicarial thing, I can imagine.
Yep.
Hearing.
I'm gonna say that all this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
In the dark future.
Alright.
Cyn,
what's your one-liner?
What's your one-liner?
Just, like, gun to the head, you want to take on me.
Alright. Challenging.
Do that in a better voice.
You want to... I don't even know. I, like, already pressed the button.
Oh,
You
okay,
wanna take
fine.
on- okay, well, next then.
Next.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fail.
Did you read this one, or who's reading this one?
I'll read this one.
Okay.
I always take with me 1. Enough weapons. 2. Some personal tokens for my character. 3. Enough snacks. 4. Some glitters, noisy objects, and a fake fish. 5. Some items to show my status. 6. Makeup for wounds. 7. Ink and parchment.
I got this. Some glitters, noisy object, and a fake fish.
That's a little fishy.
And a little glittery, and a little noisy.
I'm so glittery, it's retarded.
Alright, so, I will always take with me, it depends on the character.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
It was Counterbots for me, it's enough
I
snacks.
never go anywhere without weapons in a LARP. I always carry weapons on me, without a doubt.
A fish is a weapon.
I
feel like you should know your place.
If we were in...
That was a fish pun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
That went over my head.
You can always talk to COD.
I'm gonna smack you. For me, if I were playing my demon counterboss, it's enough snacks, because he always brings food everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But in general, like, surprisingly, the best weapon, ink and parchment.
That's not a weapon. It wasn't even a weapon. It was
the
like
pen
taking
is
Is
mightier than the sword.
especially if you stab him in the eye.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weapon.
Okay.
And then put ink right there.
All right, next. A good setting provides 1. A huge, well-written background. 2. Possibilities for creative fun. 3. Specific quests for the more experienced players. 4. Enough places to just sit down and hang out. 5. Diversity. 6. Enough enemies. And 7. Enough NPCs with small problems besides monsters. Yes to all of these?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is not easy. So, Ryan, what are you picking?
I'm going to go with possibilities for creative fun.
Yeah, I second that.
Nah. I want well-written backgrounds, honestly. If you have a really good fleshed out background, everything else can kind of fall into place. But a well-written background is something that you kind of need as a bare bones.
Oh my god, this question.
Okay, question for you guys.
Prepare to drink.
There's probably a lot more questions left, and we probably want to get to the answers. Do we want to just buzz through these real fast on our own? Because I keep timing out, which is really frustrating.
If you keep your hands on the screen, it helps.
Yeah.
I found it's not timing out for that. So let me explain. ... LARP is. We'll drink in a moment.
God damn it,
you guys
Kai.
drink while I'm reading it.
Okay, fine.
Being able to let me explain. LARP is being able to live in a story, being able to fight without actually getting hurt, being able to experience situations you would never experience. Hanging with people who are just like me. Aww. Being able to play awesome scenes. Being able to do crazy shit I could not do in normal life. And being able to show what I'm worth. I'm going to go for the crazy shit I could not do in normal life.
What happened to all of the above?
Right?
There really should be an all of
And
the
that
above.
was the last one in the puzzle.
Thank
so
God.
Go ahead.
Wow. A lot of these actually overlap.
Yes, they do.
So,
So go with your gut.
okay, being able to do the crazy shit
Yeah.
I could not do in real
I
life.
third that.
All right.
Okay, so we're all hitting that one.
We're hitting this one,
All right.
calculating
I
results.
am a lore player in a land far away, long ago. You love nothing more than experiencing and learning about the fantasy world that you play in. You know the lore, understand the metaphysics, and you appreciate stories people write. If there is ever a mysterious puzzle or a riddle the group needs to solve, people look to you first. When you have the chance, you love to share your knowledge with others, and once in a while, you like to add a little bit of your own ideas to improve the world, of course. Which I feel is kind of true, because whenever I'm playing a character, I really like to go into the background aspects of culture development. And if I get the chance to write a little bit of extra culture that starts to become canon for that particular race or group of people, and it starts getting widely accepted, that's when I get really happy, because I got to make a little bit of an impact on the world.
Nice.
How about you guys? Who wants to say the next one?
This is bullshit.
Uh-oh.
What did you come up with?
Okay,
Role player.
Cyn's a role player, huh? But it's R-O-L-E. At least it isn't R-O-L-L.
Yeah,
I like ROLL. Hello, I like tabletop.
Uh-huh. Well, no, that's true.
Okay, so, who do we have here? You love acting and creating beautiful scenes. Scenes don't have to be especially sweet, gruesome, or epic, as long as they tell the story and you can play your role. You definitely don't have to take the easiest road and live for plot twists. The psychological character development is the best reward. Nothing is better than being able to create tension or start a conflict because, hey, who needs a solution when you can roleplay for hours?
So
that doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, no, that means you're an actor, which we knew already.
Yeah, that's why I said this is bullshit.
It's not bullshit, that's true, though.
This is obvious.
Well, then that means that the LARP quiz works.
It's a quiz that is telling you who you are.
I already knew that. I didn't need a quiz for this.
The viewers now know.
Ryan?
I was surprised with my answer, but I like my answer. Mine says fun player.
You're a fun player?
And the image, one of them is a knight, the other is a unicorn with a really big horn.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Size matters there, huh?
Size matters there. Well, for me personally, no, it doesn't. But
not a size queen, huh?
No, not size queen. I'm a personality guy.
So you like a really big, throbbing personality.
Big, throbbing personality. Just give me that personality until I can't take it. All right, so that's not what it is. Watch as Cyn walks out of the room. So let me read my caption. That was awesome. LARP gives you the change to do all kinds of crazy shit and have fun with your friends. You can finally try being drunk all the time or pull pranks on each other. A pirate in love, a human who thinks he's a fairy. Winners! Pity those near you when you get bored.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, my character doesn't really get bored at all.
So, we have been having a lot of fun with this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed what you were experiencing. We'd love it if you would get the chance to join our Facebook group. Mm-hmm. So you guys could contribute. When we put up this episode, we're also going to put a link to the quiz as well. Mm-hmm. And we'd love to hear what results you guys get. And what you think of them, because that was kind of fun. And we'd like you guys to maybe play along and participate while we're doing ours. And you can get horribly drunk and then make fun drunk posts about what you chose. Yeah.
Just like we are.
Uh-huh. Also, LARP, drink.
LARP, drink.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. We're going to have to put into the group what buzzword will cause us to drink.
Buzzword?
Because I don't want to use LARP.
No, it shouldn't
not
be.
Drink?
No.
Yes, drink.
I know, drink.
We drinked. We drank.
We drinked.
Drink, drunk, drank.
We drinked. But we wanted to just pick another buzzword, so if all y'all have ideas...
Y'all.
We are all y'all.
All y'all.
All y'all have ideas.
Please
we are
not the
definitely...
L word.
We will...
Yeah, the L word. The dirty L word.
The dirty L. Lascivious.
LARP.
LARP.
Why are you glittery? I mean, why aren't you glittery?
I'm always
yes,
glittery.
it's true.
And noisy and full of fish?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which equals vampire. I'm a glittery vampire. Oh, that's bad.
You heard it here! Cyn's a glittery vampire, so...
We know what kind of vampire Cyn is. Alright.
Anyways, let's... You know what? Let's do our social medias and anything we want to promote. Now's the time. Kai, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just my Instagram, Commissar Props, KOMMISSARPROPS. It's where I build silly stuff and cool stuff and all of the stuff in between those two things.
Right on. Instagram, Cynthia__Marie.
All right, and I'm Ryan Omega, findable on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter, Ryan OMGA, and you could also catch me on Twitch at the D&D channel, playing Impero on the show Pure Respect.
Woo! Which is super cool, by the way.
Yes, I'm so happy and honored to be on there, and it is kind of cool that one of the considerations for being cast on there was because I'm a LARPer. In fact, we will probably tackle that in another podcast.
Yeah, we have the edge when it comes to Twitch playing and stuff like that because we can do lots of things.
Lots of things.
It's fun.
Advantages to being a LARPer.
Woo!
Anyways, thank you for joining us, and until next time, see you later.
Bye.
Thanks for all coming out, guys.
Bye.